welcome to the channel. If you are a returning viewer or somebody who just happened to stumble into this video, we appreciate your time and thank you for stopping by. Today, we're going to be talking about the LS-EV2 improvement and development of new product. This channel, as you may or may not know, is the LS for Life channel, which at this point we are focusing on the LS-EV2 adapter, which is for people who play VR on the Oculus Quest and they use the 11 table tennis or pickleball game. So maybe in the future we will focus on different stuff depending on what I get involved in, because at the end of the day, I only try to make video about stuff that I'm either doing or have a little knowledge about it and try to share that information, or if this is a way in which I can give people information in a clear way, let's say. So this video is not going to be a 30-second video. So what I will do, I will create a timestamp that you can just jump around to whatever information you may find interesting for you. Now, if you do find any information that you find is of any interest to you, please do share that information with any of your friends or family member. Hey, why not help somebody else too, right? So before we get into the meat of this video, let me just say thank you to anybody who ever either made a good comment, a bad comment, or people who I spoke to and provided some information into what will be something nice to do and to have in an adapter. In any case, let me say this. Normally when a person try to get a VR adapter, they always ask, what's the best adapter? And obviously that is anybody else's question. That will be the question everybody will I have. And I will say this, there are many adapters that are good. I'm just speaking about my adapter and the things that I have that may be good for you. Because at the end of the day, everything you have, everything you take, everything you own, everything you put your mind into is a choice you make. So with that being said, one thing that is very important in an adapter is what they call tracking. And tracking is normally how the controller, like a Quest 3 controller or a Quest 2 controller, talk to the headset. The headset had cameras on it. On the Quest 2, the ring around here has, I think, infrared light that will have the camera always kind of tracking that infrared and tell you where the controller is and what the controller is doing. Now, I'm not an expert, but I'm just telling you what I know, things I heard, stuff that have been discussed. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but the main point is the orientation of the controller, where the LEDs light are, have an impact on how tracking goes. That's one way. Obviously, here is the Quest 3. It has LED light around the top. They also have to be positioned so that the headset can track those LED light. And I believe they have another function in which they track the controller, which is hand tracking, which I cannot tell you exactly how strong of a tracking that does. In any case, tracking, as we know, and I've had understand it, normally it shows up on a game normally when you are attempting to do certain move and suddenly you lose your paddle. The paddle show up in the air, or maybe you try to do a move from your technique in ping pong, and it normally you found that somehow, if you're a person who have very good technique and you repeat the same motion all the time, then it happens that you notice something went wrong, but it wasn't your technique. I don't want to build much into it, but I will say this: tracking issues do not affect everybody the same way because tracking issues depends in several things. And I will speak in two different areas: the expert or professional player and everybody else. Tracking, obviously, like I mentioned, affect the game if the controller cannot have the orientation so that the goggle can look at the LEDs on the controller properly. So if you place the angle of your controller, even if you have or don't have an adapter, if you place it this way, down or away from the headset, normally you will have issue with tracking. So which means that your game technique and your bad habit affect tracking. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the adapter issue, maybe just the way you play the game. Another way that you can lose tracking, thinking about the logical stuff, could be obviously if you are a person who, I don't know, have some kind of physical impairment and maybe you're overweight. I'm not saying this for the people who's overweight, but I'm saying if your hand is below your belly and your adapter lose track of where the controller is, I mean your headset lose track of where the controller is, well obviously you're gonna have tracking problem. So at the end of the day, tracking may not also be evident to other players because it also depends on your technique and the power on your technique. A lot of have been said that when an adapter holds a control within the housing and the controller have any motion, any movement, that will affect tracking because the power of your swing will also make the adapter lights LED shift, and maybe that small movement create some kind of tracking issue. Let me try to find some adapter here to represent that. This is one of my adapters. One version of it is the LS-EV2, but this is a older version. As you can see, it have the support in the front, the support on the back to try to stabilize the adapter. So by taking this apart, and you put an adapter inside here, I mean a controller, sorry. Any movement, I don't know if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that. Any movement that the adapter has normally will have an impact to most often professional player. Why I say this? Because I'm not a professional, but I use my adapter constantly. And maybe my skills and my swing is not so strong that I never experience those problems. And obviously, I had got that information from people who had tested the adapter, people who's professional and have also show other adapter who have issue with tracking because they have minor movement inside the housing. So that is an issue that even though it is actually a real point, especially if you're a professional and have proved this issue, then there is an issue to have, but it's not an issue that affects everybody. So if you're just a regular player who occasionally play the game and is not hungry to be the best, you can use basically any adapter and still get a good game. So this by any way, and it means this is the LS-EV2, what I call all-in-one adapter. All-in-one because you can use basically any controller and slap it in here and it'll fit. This is the left hand Quest 3 and it fit. Have a little movement because there's nothing holding it in place. This is the Quest 2 right controller and it also fit. Has a little play because the adapter is not a fitted type of adapter and also it doesn't have anything holding the adapter in place. Now, I'm not gonna go deep into that because there are other videos you can watch that will show you everything about this adapter. What I will do is go to the next level, which is where this adapter, the LS-EV2, even though using this clip on the back or the clip in the front, was good enough to hold any controller in place and be used. However, for professional, there was a small wiggle inside the adapter, and therefore that's something that I needed to address to make sure that this adapter worked for everybody, not just a group of people. This here is the LS-EV2. However, this is the LS-EV2 improved version. This is still the all-in-one adapter. You can use any controller inside this case, and still they will all fit and be perfect for most people. However, I had changed the way you secure the adapter by using this clip in the front. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it. And I also made an adjustment on the housing so that the adapter is more secure and it won't have any movement. If anything, very little movement. It's as simple as this. Tie the knot on the front. Not sure if you can see it right here. Now, as you can see, the clip is in here, inside this section, and you can go like this, and you don't have much movement at all. I will say no movement is my actual version of the message, no movement. Now, if somebody really tweak the adapter looking for motion, they will get it. You force him to do something that you will not do on your swing. But right now, this adapter, which I call the all-in-one adapter, have no motion, and it is perfect for anybody who wants to have one controller, one adapter, and use any Quest controller. Now, if you want to test this out yourself, I'll tell you this. You can, go to DM me, send me a message. We can talk about it. I can send you the adapter. Obviously, you may have to purchase it. But if it doesn't work for you, no problem. I'm willing to return your money back. If you think that it's not as good as any adapter that you have used. That's my word. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the next topic of this video. The next topic of this video, and let me take this out from here. This is how simple it is to take it out. Now, this is the Quest 3 left-hand controller. Let's do this. Normally, you don't have to even remove the cover. For this test, since I don't want to do too much, to make the video too long, I'm just going to leave it this way with a regular battery on it. Here it is. Oops, this is the adapter. Now, obviously, in this case, the only difference is that this clip have to be made for the left-hand controller. But that will come with the adapter if you do choose to purchase one. This is the right-hand controller. It fits in here perfectly. Now, this clip is made for the right-hand controller. This is how easy it is to have it in there, secure. I will call this minimum that 0.1 of a millimeter movement, if anything. Obviously, it is because I'm forcing it. If you, and I'm not saying you have any, but I'm just pointing. I don't want to say it's perfect, it's locked up in place, because I know the housing is made in a way that you have to have some space in order to fit the left controller, the right controller, the Quest 1, Quest 2, and even the Quest Pro. So here it is. You can do anything to this, and it's not gonna come out. Very easy to secure. Just to take it out, remove the clip in the front, and you're done. Control it out. That's how simple it is. The LS-EV2 all-in-one adapter to use and have it in your bag. So with that being said, let's move to the next topic. So for some time, I have been trying to make this video because the LS-EV2 not only have improved, but we also decided to do some kind of upgrade, bring it more into the future. So for that, what we have today is a more compact version of the LS-EV2. Now, this is the LEV2.1. Why do I call it a .1? Because it's a different version. This version will only fit the right-hand controller of a Quest 2, Quest 3, and the Pro. Now, this controller, as you can see, these adapters, you can see, follow the same housing as all my previous adapter. And now we use the same clip to secure the adapter. And as you can see here, you are looking at a adapter with a handle, which is, I believe, the rest handle. It's kind of a straight handle, but a little short, not as long. Here is the same adapter, same housing, also made for the same type of controller, which means that it will only fit the right controller for the Quest 2, Quest 3, and even the Pro. And this adapter, obviously, again, we can put it to the test. We just remove the clip, take the controller we like to use. In this case, have to be the right controller. We don't need to take the battery out, the cover. I do use a battery on it, which is a AAA battery with my battery adapter here, which I have obviously upgraded and made changes because initially it was a little rough to put it in, but it's always easier for whoever makes it to actually use the adapter. So I learned, it had been a learning curve since I started making adapter. So this is how easy it is to put it in. Again, take your adapter, slide the controller in, push it back, and then take the clip, slide them in the front. Make sure you feel that it's nice and secure, and you're gonna see that there is no gap in this space. And then you can take your screw, put it in the front, and screw that in. And it's done. Here's your adapter. Now, obviously, this is a table which is not that sturdy, but you can see right now that the adapter can stand by itself. That doesn't mean in any way that it's special. At some point in time, people called it the unbalanced adapter when the Quest 2 was the only controller out. But as you can see, this adapter will maintain the same orientation is still the unbalanced adapter that work. And I'm sorry if anybody get the wrong idea, but what I mean is balance may be acquired in different way. Like some people, orientation of the adapter may not be horizontal, could be sideways, or could be with the facing up. So that is different balance or by my standard. So right now, if you want to take it out, you just unscrew it, take it out, pop it out, grab your neck controller, place it in, take the adapter again, slap it in there. Just make sure you have all the spacing that you need. It's a little more slightly difficult sometimes for other adapter because it's a slight different on the angle, but it's basically the same approach. And the one key factor of this, which is great, all I have to do is use a clip that fit the proper controller in order to keep it in place. This adapter itself, nothing will change moving forward unless the controller, in order to follow, to have good tracking, have a different build. For now, this adapter will work, like I mentioned previously, with the Quest 2, Quest 3, and even the Quest Pro. However, that one I have not tested. I'm just going by the fact that they have the same orientation. So we have the EV2 all-in-one. This is the LS-EV2.1, which is a compact adapter, which only can be used with a right controller. However, we have one for the left controller. But that's not all. We haven't stopped moving forward. When I started building adapter, sometime during this year, I wanted to give people something they haven't had. I wanted to bring something new to the table. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to challenge myself, but give a good product to the public. So with that being said, I didn't stop by just making sure that I have a adapter that works, that is compact, that you can get it in different style. Like this is the flare handle instead of the straight handle, as you can see here. You can also get this in different color. That's the easiest part. You have good tracking, and I'm not going to say excellent tracking because I like the professional to test this out first and give their feedback. But for my understanding, I know you're going to have good tracking since I have fixed issue that have been reported, and I test this and use it all the time. So my next information to you is the so-called quick release new module LS-EV2 model TJ. Now this version is as you can see here, it just on this particular stand for the moment. It is replaceable, so you can have any blade that I made, or maybe you decide to make something that may work. But you can take this version of the adapter, which is the modular part of the adapter, and have a blade like this one, which as you can see, this is the same housing riding on this adapter, this blade. You secure it with a screw in here. And this is what I call the quick release. Why would I call it a quick release? It's as easy as this. That's it. Adapter in, adapter out. I mean, controller in, controller out, sorry. By the way, I love to use my string here to make sure I don't, by any mean or accidental thing happen, I drop my controller. Stuff happen. Nothing is perfect, nothing lasts forever. So when I put my adapter in here, I take this string, wrap it around my finger. If anything goes wrong, the string is tied to my finger, and the adapter and the controller will go nowhere. In any case, this is the quick release. Now, if you have not, you may want to check this video here where I speak about the quick release. Actually, I don't speak about it. It's just a video that I found it was interesting to me making it, because I like to make it fun. I don't want to be so serious. So the same, this is the adapter. And here we go. Now, this adapter, this version of the adapter was tested. So I'm not going to be here talking like I make things perfect. This was tested. This was the original version of it. And there's something that you can see here. It's very flat over here, which had or was reported to be a little of a wiggle after you, I guess because you're a professional and your swing is so strong that makes this move or react in a way that I didn't really expect it. However, I used it when it was this way and it was good, but I gotta go by the advice of the professional. So what I did, I improved this adapter, adding extra material here, so it's now more solid and it won't have the same reaction. But that was not all. There's always somebody who will say, well, this is not necessarily good. So I followed the information. I was given some feedback, and here is the same adapter, the modular version, on a hard case. I call this the solid version of it. It is still a modular piece. Let me show you. Like this one. This is the hard case version of this. And as you can see the clip on the top. You remove it like this. A little more time because it's longer. Take the clip out. And if you want to replace it, take this. Now this is the blade. And you can choose a blade like, hey, let's use this blue blade that has a straight handle or a flare handle, and let's attach this module to it and play your game like nothing happened. So as you can see, this is a version of the modular adapter that uses a blade that is replaceable. What is good about this blade? You can have different handle, or if by any means this break, damage, or whatever, you don't need to buy both things. You can have a good top piece of it, or you can have this, so you only get one of them. But if you have different color or different version, like this is now the quick release, because this one needs the screw and the clip to attach. So this is gonna take a little more time to put it together. But you can easily slap them in. There it is. Whenever you need to use the controller, slap it in. And then you put the adapter in the front. So as you can see, it's now the quick release, and at the same time, you have to remember that you have a screw in the back that you have to take out. Have to take out the screw. Make sure you now push it in, and then you put your screw back in. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing right now because the video is getting long. But basically, it is the same approach for every controller. I mean, for every one of my adapter, except for the quick release. This one here, obviously, like I mentioned, it's a little more work because the screw have to go in the front. It's not as easy. However, I'm gonna make an adapter which the clip is in the side, which makes it a lot easier and more space to work. But this will be what you will have basically. and you can just take it out. This is the adapter. Take your controller out. Now, as I said it before, we didn't stop there. We know that a lot of people like to make customization to their adapter. I know. Once you put your goggles on, you're not gonna see what you have in your hand, but in your mind, it makes you feel good. You know what you're holding, and you know how it feels. So with the modular adapter version, you can take a regular paddle, an old paddle that you maybe used in the past. Maybe you can look at this video on this side where I kind of show the picture of a paddle, and then that paddle became this, which is real wood, a real blade, rubber, and the adapter that you can actually take in and out by removing the screw and put it into any other um, paddle that you may have, or even use it on a 3D printer paddle. And believe me, I also use this, and this is not even the version with the latest upgrade. This is just the the prototype version, and it's still, when I was using it, it was good because, again, tracking and different issue may materialize or be showed to other people. You can experience those problems depending on your habit or your bad or good habits, your skill level, and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't worry about it, but if you know that you're not a player who probably are trying to become #1 in the country, you still can play with this. So, in any case, moving along. As I mentioned before, this is also a 3D printer adapter that is specifically made so that you can add rubber. That's why the space, as you can see, is very slim, because once you add rubber, you're going to add weight and you're going to add thickness. So with this adapter, well, you have plenty of room to put your fingers. And if you add rubber to this, you're really going to feel like you're having a real paddle in your hand. So, like I mentioned, I wasn't stopping until I feel satisfied that I have accomplished what in my mind was something that you guys have not seen. And not to stop there, I got this. What is this? Well, most real ping pong player will know what this is. This is a pinhole adapter. With this adapter, you use the same way for securing your Quest 3 or Quest 2 adapt controller. Use the same clip. This housing is only for right controller, right hand controller. It could be the Quest 3 or the Quest 2, maybe the Pro. And all you have to do, slide your controller in. Make sure it's all the way back. Take your clip, slide it in the front. Screw it in, and there you go. Now you can take, in my case, I'll do this. So it's your choice. Now, even though you can actually take this adapter the way it is, configure it as a handshake, and you can use it for handshake, but it is actually specifically made for pinhole. So this is how you will have to hold it if you configure a pinhole. So when I said I was gonna bring choices, I did. I can give you a all-in-one adapter. I can give you a very compact, solid, nice and smooth, just in case for those who care about cosmetic, handshake adapter. I can give you an adapter with a module that you can swap. It can be a adapter with a what I call not so simple to place the controller, but yeah, it's still very quick. But you can make it a flexible base. What I call flexible is because it gives you the ability to set any adapter in here, and it's what I call the quick release. And the material in here is not as solid as this one, but they both give you what you need in order to play the game and enjoy your VR 11 table tennis or pickleball. And what else we have? Well, I mentioned that you can make your own table tennis with a old racket or old, I would call bat, like they say, blade, whatever you call it. You can take your old blade and give a new life by using the modular adapter. And we have something else coming up, but I will do that in another video. For those who don't want to have the struggle of cutting a real blade and doing, I will say, too much carpenter work. We're gonna help you out with that. We're gonna give you something that will allow you to just get your rubber and your handles, use our modular version adapter, and create your customizable real table tennis paddle. So I hope the video have provided you with some good information. I've been trying to do this video for a long time, but I had issue with my printer. It takes time to print these little things, so I didn't want to do a video without having stuff to show like I did today. All I can say is, if you have any question or you have a comment that you want to leave behind, go ahead and do so. Regardless of what you say, all you can do is help me. So feel free to say whatever you want. And thank you for stopping by. I hope this video has give you enough information about the LS-EV2 line of adapter. And hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Remember one thing, an adapter will not make you necessarily better. It will help your game by having the ability to provide you with a realistic feeling. If you're a person who have good technique, it will bring that technique to the VR game, but it's not going to make a miracle. It's not going to make you the champion of anything you do unless you put the effort and the practice in getting better. So again, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time when we bring more information about the new developments or the LS-EV Lino adapter, or maybe if we go into any other discussion. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you liked the video. Make sure that you do like everybody say, hey, click the like button and subscribe. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna be here making video every day, but thanks a lot for stopping by. LS out. Enjoy the video. Take it easy.